Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's pick a card is going to be, where do I find what I'm looking for? So we're gonna look into possibly to get sort of like a check-in to see if you picked the right reading, to be like, if this is what you're looking for. We'll get the first 3 cards technically are going to reveal that to us. So if they don't resonate, please feel free to pick another pile, or today I may not have picked up on your energy. So with that being said, we're going to look at, again, like I said, where do I find what I'm looking for? One side's going to be not here, and the other side will be but here. Then we'll look into how do I find what I'm looking for? And it will talk about the way in which to approach it. Then we'll look at what your inner voice has been telling you, get some guidance, etc. Okay, my beautiful collective. I'm hoping this won't be too long of a reading, but we'll see. So, pile 1, we have wnαt, otherwise known as golden tourmaline. So it's a protective stone, a dark stone, a protective stone, a calming stone, has a soothing effect. It helps one relax, feel protected. It's good for stomach issues due to stress or emotional uncomfortabilities that reside in the stomach. Hence why I have it. So pile 2 is wnαt. And wnαt stands for luck, money, fortune. It talks about bringing in good health, restful sleep, peace to our relationships by balancing emotions and the mind. And then for pile 3, we have andesite. It helps to analyze, ground, and balance different aspects of one's being, spiritual characteristics, emotional, etc. Stimulates and cleanses all mental activity. So, you can either pick by crystal if you prefer, and or by number. Either way, my beautiful collective, I will see you at your choice. Welcome, my beautiful pile 1s who chose wnαt. Where am I? I'm going to hold on to him for a sec. Spread out your cards first. These will be your guidance cards at the end. Okay, my lovely wnαt pile. Okay, so let's see what it is that you actually want before we figure out where you find it. All right, we have Scorpio, investigate. Uranus. And the 6 of fire. What I'm feeling here, my beautiful collective, is there's a sense of duality, but a sense of balance in the other perspective. It's like wanting to, again, it's adaptability, strength, surprise with Uranus energy, unpredictability, abruptness, knowledge, change. As I said, adaptability. So there's it feels like what you're looking for is change, adaptability, this abruptness, this uncomfortability when it comes to healing, negotiations, arbitrations, boundary, support, diplomacy, not to be stubborn, 2 sides of every disagreement. Again, this really heavy sense of duality. And communication is necessary and required. It's asking you to let go of biases and be open-minded. I don't necessarily know if you need to be open-minded, but or you're asking for your situation or circumstances to be open-minded. And maybe it is you that needs to investigate why it is this way, or maybe you need to investigate to allow yourself to be open to that possibility. So what it looks like you're wanting right now, in my opinion, based on these cards here, is to come to a consensus, for there to be open dialogue, for there to be diplomacy, for there to be healthy boundaries set with open ears, open mind, allowing the situation or the people involved to really get to the nitty-gritty of the situation, not to sugarcoat things or to cover things up. It's understanding all aspects and perspectives of who and what is involved. Interesting. So my 𝗵ᴜ, if that seems like something you've been looking for, then this is your pile. Let's continue. So it is not here. This is this side over here. We're going to get some tarot also for this side. LGBTQT, interesting. An introvert. Interesting. And community over LGBTQT community. That's interesting. And change. This is what this whole thing's about. Interesting. So if what you're looking for is in the energy of what we've already talked about, maybe it is not, maybe it is within this community that you're looking for more open-mindedness, possibly in this community. Maybe you are finding more openness in it, and that's what you're investigating. How is this, a thing? But I'm also getting here, you cannot be introverted, and if you don't change this introverted part of you about the non-explorative part of you that wants to know, to investigate, to dive deep into something, to find that consensus for the change and adaptability within yourself, then it's just going to remain the same, and you'll just continuously feel stuck in some way. I'm not sure how you're exploring this or in which side you fall on this coin, but it's not in this way. It's not in this particular, possibly in the community. It's not in you staying unchanged and introverted. So again, the strongest feeling, like, it's not in this community. You're not going to find the change that you need within this particular community. And possibly because we're talking about open-mindedness too, and of this not being where to find it, skewed, so to speak, it might be in, even though this community might, in your own environment of this community, might have seemed open, it's not in whatever aspect that you're looking for this openness. That's the best way I can describe this. Okay, let's get some tarot. We're going to get 4 cards. Side note, my 𝗵ᴜ, I've had so many interruptions for your pile. I mean, at least 4 times I've had to stop this. Jeez! Okay, so let's get into some of the tarot on the not here side. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm going to get 3 cards. I said 4. I'm going to get 3. The 9 of Cups. And the Moon. Sorry. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. 9 of Cups. And the Moon. So when it comes to not here, it's like the opportunity to fulfill your wish is not going to come here, because it does feel like you emotionally cannot be open. You cannot really speak your mind as fully as you would want to, or you're not being heard in some way. Like, again, I'm really getting a feeling of silenced in somehow, or muted, or pushed aside. But I don't feel... which is interesting, because I don't feel like I could be wrong, I don't feel like a sense of hurt. I feel more a sense of curiosity as to the why. Like, why this is happening now. And I think that's the investigate energy of that scorpionic energy. And about that duality that is within whatever environment or situation you're looking into right now. Interesting. Okay, so where do you find what you're looking for? It's over here. Let's see what they gotta say. Light hair. Okay. Spiritual, fair enough. Despair over light hair. And main male over spiritual. Okay, first I'm getting two energies. I'm going to go with the most literal one that they gave me first. It can literally have to do with, if it has to do with a particular person or a specific person, it can be you're having this difficulty of this repressive energy with a person who has light hair that is creating this despair. And the spiritual release and your reflective, contemplative, observer, curiosity energy may have been brought to light from a person who has brown hair who's spiritual, like a male who has brown hair who's spiritual. I don't know why they're giving that to me first, just maybe to differentiate between maybe some of the energies that are playing out in your life. That's one. Second thing I'm getting here is where to find what you're looking for is to lighten up where you are feeling this despair. Is to lighten up the energies about your connection to it, or to separate or to step back from that and to connect more to the spiritual side of what's happening. To look for the underlying, it's like the scorpionic energy, the underlying deep meaning of this abrupt change, this need for adaptability and adjustment, you know? To find the consensus again within yourself, to not be biased, to be open-minded. Let's get some tarot. We have 8 of Cups. I really am feeling like it has to do with a person that has light hair for you, or it's very significant in their part of their characteristics. Even if they're not a natural blonde or have light hair, like their hair is lighter than it normally is. Or they even cut it recently. Ten of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Pile 1. This is such an interesting reading for me, because it's interesting to give somebody the advice that I'm feeling, or the feeling that they're giving me to tell you. It's not something that I'm always comfortable saying on a YouTube platform, because of the fact that everybody's circumstance is different, and how I deal with, for example, like how things will process in me are much faster sometimes and seems kind of like cold, because I can detach fairly easily, excuse me, even if it's been like 30 years with somebody. Like I can cut it off like I don't know you, you know, and that can seem very, especially as very cold and very quick, especially as a person who feels so deeply, like everything is personal for me almost, you know? And so if it almost is like a juxtaposition in my personality where they're like, this person would never be able to do that, and I do it, and I have done it several times throughout my life. And this is exactly what this feels like. It's like you need to cut some of this shit out, whatever this energy is, for you to find your home. Like your home, like in self and with around people. Because wherever you are is diminishing your power, point blank. And if that's specifically about a community of people, about a specific person, an environment, it doesn't really matter. To me, it's a let go. It's not even let go. It's walk the F away. Be done. Like it's so stern in how they're bringing it up to me, because like I feel like my parent not yelling at me, but like giving me a lesson that's like, you can do it this way, but you're gonna get fucked. Like apologies for the language. But that's how strong it feels. and if you want to get what you want, you know, and where to find what you're looking for. It's not here. You need to walk towards this spiritual essence of you, the deep knowing within you, the releasing of anything that is creating any sort of unnecessary friction without an open mind and open communication, transparency. Yeah, that wish won't come true in this energy if communication cannot be expressed, if emotions cannot be heard, if there cannot be any reciprocity. There won't be victory. They're like, it'll be this continuous loop, or this like, there's like a card in this deck, this unfinished symphony, you know, that will be playing out if you don't let go. And I think you kind of know this. Woo! Let me breathe, 𝗵ᴜ. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Whoa. And that may be why this drop byte's so poignant for you. You know, that calming, soothing, stomach stress or emotional stress. Interesting. Okay. Let's see, how do you find then what you're looking for? Is this way. Number 2, Alpha Centaurians, Taurians. Foresight, planning, and strategy. So, fitting with the investigate on how to find what you're looking for, it's in the way of observing, like that you're doing, learning from what you've observed, planning your new strategy to move forward. Emotionally intact, mentally balanced, you know, soothing the mind and body. It's, again, this is exactly the energy that you are, is when I felt all of this. It's like, it's not fear, it's not anger, it's just like, what's happening here? Very curious. And I think that's the way to go about it, is staying in that curiosity. And also, wow, 2 and 1, 1 and 2 are Garthians. Manifesting multidimensional perceptions, attunement, exactly, like open-mindedness, manifesting multidimensional perceptions. That's exactly what this is. That's how you go about it. I don't feel like you need to change your way, my lovely. Like, I really, really don't. I don't think it's like even an adjustment on your part to help with this navigating. It doesn't feel that way. It's like you need to stick to your guns, my love, because this is what your soul wants, you know? This is what it's calling to you. Speaking of, beautiful segue to these cards, which is what your inner voice is telling you. So on how to find what you're looking for, it's in the foresight planning strategy about keeping this multidimensional perception, and attuning to that energy, letting go of what's not working for you, speaking up when the time is right, after the investigation period is done. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So like I said, segue into what has your inner voice been telling you. A change in the wind. This whole reading is about change. This Uranus energy is screaming at you, 𝗵ᴜ. And what did I freaking say? Unmother effing finished symphony. Like I said, this is what your soul's been telling you. Like, a change needs to come, because it's gonna be this freaking never-ending story. The never-ending story. Like, I don't mean to giggle, but like, we gotta laugh at some of this shit, because in all fairness, like, you freaking know this, 𝗵ᴜ, and I ain't gonna try to play like you know this. And it's almost like, fuck, I have to do it. Like, I have to do this. Okay, so let me put it this way. You don't have to rush, don't get me wrong, but I do feel there is an urgency, if that makes sense. Like, there's no need to like, oh my god, I gotta hurry up and get out of this. No. It's finish your planning, finish your observing, finish your strategy, finish attuning this perception, you know? Allow all of this to happen, but be mindful of you're making steps to peace. Like, to be deuces, I'm out. But I've learned and I've taken what I needed from this experience, this environment, this person, etc. And I'm now going to use this to better stand in my power. So this Queen of Wands can be standing up right now, instead of me feeling like I'm being hidden or cloaked. And then pain. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Fair enough. It is painful. Like, painful that you... I'm hearing, you can't always get what you want, but you will get what you need. So I feel like that's what the pull to the inner voice is the pain that is what's pulling you into knowing or feeling that the change needs to be made, or this unfinished symphony, something has to complete in some way. However that is, whether that is eventually coming to be able to communicate what needs to be spoken about, and or just finishing that particular cycle for yourself and walking away, and recognizing that either the energies involved could not match up or be open enough to see the multidimensional perspective or perception of what you might be debating, talking, speaking, emotionally feeling, etc. It's interesting, 𝗵𝗺. I loved it. So let's see now, getting closer to the end of your messages. Quick readings, love quick readings sometimes. This is from here on out, from here on. What's your advice? Musing right along. Keep moving. I'm going to read from the book just because they're fun and they're light. And I think we need a little bit of lightness in this energy at the moment. It's nothing going to be too deep, but they're fun. It says, might as well write your acceptance speech. Your creative mojo is in rare form. Inspired ideas, brilliant schemes, and colossal plans are streaming in from every direction, courtesy of your inner muse. Get out a bucket list and drink in the sweet nectar of inventiveness and fun. So from here on, this is it. You're going to feel exactly like I'm moving right along, especially that 8 of Cups energy. I'm just going to move right along. This is a timing energy, but we'll see. It says this year. Yeah, well, fitting. It's happening right now. And then your advice, as you're musing right along. Wrecking ball. Absolutely, Miley Cyrus. You're definitely coming in like a wrecking ball, but I don't feel like it's an unhealthy wrecking ball. I think it was a necessary wrecking ball for you to step into this energy that you need to, like, to really step away from whatever it had been that was, again, a little bit too resistant for unnecessary reasons. It says, psst, just so you know, a wrecking ball is not necessarily a sign of destruction. It's more like a blessing, a blessed invitation for brand new exciting things to blossom. All you need to do is change your perspective. Let's get this renovation started. Frickin' A. That's it. Let's get this renovation started. Let's plow all this shit out and be done. And tomorrow, woo, when I say there's no rush, you're probably like, fuck this shit, part of my language. Oh my God, I'm swearing, so apologies. You're probably like, F with this noise. Like, I'm ready to bounce now. Like, I got the go ahead is what I feel like. Let's go. Let's go, 𝗵𝗺. Let's go. Tomorrow, this year and tomorrow, like, you're ready to put this moves now. I don't know, maybe this was like a confirmation that you needed, or like that reassurance that you're like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. I hope it was, because fucking A, I'm with you, buddy. Okay, my beautiful 𝗵𝗺s. Let's see your closing messages. This is your masculine, feminine energies and spirit's reminder to you. And your higher self, I should say. The masculine first, it says, I forgive myself for feeling as though there may exist a moment in the future where I may not have what I need, despite having all that I need in the present. And that might have been what was keeping you here, or what had been keeping you here, part of this pain and need, or that push for the change in the wind. And then it says, I choose to believe that when I focus my attention on finding appreciation for what I do have, I align with the flow of abundance that is already mine. Absolutely. And that's when you recognize that I need to bounce. You know, the abundance that's already mine, I can choose to stay here. I can choose to focus my attention here on where I may not actually be appreciated. You know, maybe I need to just step away and be like, what's happening? Again, this Alpha Centurion energy, your feminine energy. Says, I forgive myself for giving my power away by thinking that others are more capable than I am. Have you done that, pile 1? I feel like in some instances you may have, which is allowing, again, for you to step back. I choose to believe that I always have access to an innate wisdom that will guide me to the knowledge and resources I need to create what I desire. That's it, my love. To create what I desire. You have everything you need within you, and you figure this out more, or it's not even figure this out, you feel this more deeply now. And sometimes that feeling it is more prevalent than sometimes just the seeing it or just believing it. Like to feel what that feels like, and I think you're getting to that place. Oh, my beautiful collective, I hope this was helpful. Quick and sweet reading for you, my loves. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, please let me know if it resonated. Ciao. Welcome, my pal 2, my wnαt. These 2 cards over here are going to be your guidance for the very end. And let's go out your cards. All right, my beautiful collective of my wnαt pile. So we are going to get started, and we are going to look into, before we even find out where do you find what you're looking for, what is it that you're actually looking for, and if these energies don't resonate, maybe try and choose another pile. If not, if it is, let's continue. All right, we will continue, I should say. So 2nd house, resources. Tree of Life. Queen of Earth. So my pile 2s, my wnαt pile, speaking about fortuitous luck, abundance, money. This seems to be a very fitting pile for you, my pile 2s. 2nd house, resources, your finances, your money, your stability, Taurian energy, the Tree of Life, talking about how the divine transcends or descends into this realm, a way in which we can find our way into unity with, maybe it is with your material or your resources. You're wanting to possibly remove some of the obstacles when it comes to your resources. You're wanting to either expand your resources or how you can make more money or more revenue in some way. You might be too heavily focused on your finances also. So there's obviously a balance that is needed here when it comes to the emotional and spiritual levels of how, I guess, money or your resources play out in your life. So my pile 2, it feels like that's what you're looking for, or what you're looking for. So if you're looking for more abundance, more money, more stability, more unity with your money, more ways to make abundance and prosperity in your life. You also might be wanting to expand your mind also. Again, it's the same thing. It's sort of about expanding on ways to create more, period, you know? A very pragmatic approach to it, still very nurturing. You might need honest or wise counsel. You might be looking for that. And as a side note, you might also looking to share some of this responsibility. So, if this feels like you, let's continue, my lovelies. If not, hopefully I'll see you at another pile. So, this side here is, you're not going to find it here. On where to find what you're looking for, it's not going to be here. So let's see what they say. Cartomacy. How ironic. That's so funny. And spontaneous. Well, spontaneous. This is so funny. Okay. Imprisonment over cartomacy. Oh my god, I kind of know exactly what they're talking about here. And then thoughts over spontaneous. I really feel what they're talking about here is there's a sense of predictability. Meaning like, again, I am not uber financial savvy when it comes to that financial world. But it feels like needing a certain amount of stats or predictability within your certain investments or what you'd actually choose to take a risk on. You know, and I feel that it's not here. If you're looking for surety or always trying to predict how to, the spark of the spontaneous thoughts that will create the risk for you to find that, you won't trust it, or you'll second guess it, and you won't trust your own instincts in some way, your own ability to create the resources or revenue or income or influx or abundance that you're seeking. There is a sense of trying to find out like before you need to, like it's almost like you're I don't want to use pretend is too much of a strong word, but it's like that's how it might be perceived. It's like you're pretending to take a risk when you're really not. You're being almost overly cautious because of everything, you know, it's an overly calculated risk. That's the best way to say it. And you can't, and it feels like you won't get what you're looking for if you go about it this way and needing to be very predictive and sure. There is an ask heavily in this pile to take a risk. Okay, so where you find it is over here. Let's see what they say. Adolescence. Okay. Interesting. Quiet time. Mature man over adolescence. Again, so many ironic things happening in this file too. And privileged lady with quiet time. Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting first here is this energy. They're turning me to, they're asking you, to mature in this thought process. The way that you've been going about filtering and over-examining your thoughts and the things that you want to take a risk on are young in mind. And this brings to this here, this Queen of Pentacles talks about fertility of mind also. So it brings in this maturing was what you need within the thought process of how you go about creating resources. And you will find that growing in the quiet time. That's one energy. Two, the quiet time is the privilege, you know, for you to even be able to have quiet time, for you to assess and pause and look at where can I invest better? How can I use this better? How can I think about this differently? That's the key here. That's how you'll get what you're doing. It's like you need to contemplate on how have I actually been approaching this? And have I not really been trusting my own intuition, my own inner guidance, my own inner voice, which we will touch into later. Let's get some tarot on both. I'm also hearing it's literally maturing in silence. It's like there has to be sort of like quiet movement. It's like taking a course and nobody knows you're taking a course. It's expanding your skills and not telling anybody about it. Let's see on the not here side. We're going to take 3. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the 3 of Cups. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles, the Emperor, 3 of Cups. What I'm feeling here is, again, speaking of it's not here, it's like this independence. I want to be gentle about this, but I don't know if I have the words to be as gentle as I want, so please forgive me and don't shoot the messenger. It still feels like it's an echo to the same energy. It's like there's a sense of false strength because of because of some of the people around or because of some of your resources. Again, coming back to predictability, statistics, data. It's like I gained this position, like this autonomous position, this wealthy standpoint, and I present like an emperor, but I'm really relying on all these factors behind here, which is natural, don't get me wrong, to really find my strength. It's almost like the strength isn't coming from within, it is from external. And I think this is a part of how to get to this tree of life, this fertile mind, this queen energy, the full resources of you. Yeah, so it does feel like that. So you're not able to get what you're seeking if the reliance is so heavily based on the people or the things external from you. Even if they're connected to you, even if they're the most trustworthy, this is not the point of this what you're looking for. It's not to say that these people are not wonderful people giving you exactly what you need and which have helped create the stability that you have now potentially. But they're talking about if what you're looking for is that type of energy within, then you can't go about it in this way anymore. There has to be a maturing of yourself to find your own strength and trust in your own, again, thoughts, the risks you want to take. And you have to sort of separate and quiet your energy and distance yourself to some degree for you to mature within that, for you to not be influenced, your thoughts to not be influenced by circumstance, by doubt. And then for this is how you get it, or where you find it, I should say. We have the Queen of Swords, freaking A. Clarity of your direction, what you're going after. The Knight of Swords in the reverse, without haste. Yes. And maturing again, not with that young mentality of not thinking about it. And then the Eight of Wands, again, you can speed up this process of getting there if you allow yourself to look at yourself. That's what it is, to look at how you might jump into situations or not jump into situations where you might doubt yourself and think that I'm going to make a bad decision because you've been so reliant on statistics, data, etc. Again, not to say that these things individually are bad things, but if we're talking about in the conversation we're having about what it is you want and where to find it. So for you, it is about the maturing, the quieting, the clarity, to find the clarity, to analyze the parts of you that become to adolescence in response, and there's not a maturity behind the actions or the steps or even some of the thoughts. But there is a quickening that can happen for you in this process to get what you want if you allow this quiet time to mature and clarify what it is or how this is playing out for you and who that might involve. Interesting. So let's see then, how do you find and how do you go about finding it? It's this way. Nagas. Oh, perfect. Lovers, erotica, sensuality. Loving what you're doing, showing compassion for yourself is also what I just heard. And there is a talk too about coming together. Maybe it might be through a different type, maybe it's through a partnership as opposed to business alliances. That you can sort of get the same energy that you were thriving from in this not here energy into something that's beneficial for both, or for two or for more. That's interesting. Yeah, it's about showing that vitality towards what you're looking for, to find that union within self, to be seduced by your own wants and desires with a healthy lust, a healthy vitality. And also this way, Nephilim, controversial, assessing new perspectives. That's how too. It's assessing the controversial nature within you, assessing what needs to change, finding that new perspective on how you think about things, how you go about things. And again, looking back on how one may have approached it before. Maybe it was this. Maybe Again, this is a part of the way on how to, but again, like I talked about, it might have been that's how you got into the situation. Was it doesn't feel like an overload, but it's like almost giving up too much of the responsibility instead of finding an equal balance of the responsibility and the resources. So there is again a leveling out, a balancing that needs to happen within. I specifically feel more within the thoughts, so that the thoughts can change the action. Okay, my lovelies. So what has your inner voice been telling you then all this time? Higher power in the reverse. You've been thinking about, it's like you've been thinking about things that haven't worked, that fell through, that should have worked out, that again, certain risks that didn't, something along those lines. And you're also maybe not trusting, again, we come back to the spontaneous thoughts, the intuitive hits, the risks that spirit is nudging you to take in some aspect of your question here. It feels like you've been resisting. I can't say you haven't been listening, you've just been resisting. And co-create, like we just said, to co-create with spirit. You've been resisting to co-create with spirit, which is this inspirational, spontaneous thoughts that come in, and then you just squash it and you imprison that because it's like didn't show up in the cards, so to speak, or this person didn't tell me the right amount of information I needed to make a calculated risk. In other words, it's like you need to trust you, trust spirit, trust what you're being given, change this perspective of yours. And then stop ghosting. Spirit's like, you've been ghosting me, bitch. Like, you've been ghosting me. Can you listen to me? I want to talk to you. I've been trying to get through to you. And you're just resist, trying to find your own path when I'm like, come to the edge. They said that you just might have a connection with 𝗵3. I'm not really sure why, but we'll see. I haven't done 𝗵3 yet. So either way, when I said come to the edge, that's what they said. Anyway, that's amazing. That's so funny, though. Your inner voice is like, honey, can you please listen to me? Listen to spirit. We have stuff to do here. We want to co-create. Stop doubting your power. Stop doubting your thoughts, your intuition, your abilities, your capabilities. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Okay, so let us see here. From here on, this is your advice. Head games. I just heard don't play head games with yourself. Again, when it comes to these thoughts, right? Don't play them. And don't listen to them either. I'm going to read from the book because it's going to lighten up the energy. It's really fun and short. It says, the trouble with smart people, and yes, that means you, is that they occasionally have a tad bit of difficulty surrendering to the big guy. Did we not just say this? They want to analyze everything, figure everything out, go from A to B to C to D ad nauseum. And here's all you need to know about this. Sometimes it's better to let go. And that's it. Let go of this. Let go of the old head games. And then festive season. Maybe you'll get a better opportunity or a bigger opportunity to let go of these head games in a festive season. What's the next one coming up? Technically, it would be Valentine's Day or Family Day. Maybe something around there is going to be happening for you based on when I'm filming this. Or it can be March break, St. Patrick's Day. Oh my God, there's so many other things that are coming up in between that. Chinese New Year, like, just depends. So it depends on what that is for you. And your advice moving forward. X-ray vision. Yeah, talk about clarity, right? And especially with that Queen of Swords energy over here. And then next month. So maybe it is in that St. Patrick's March break time frame for something specific in this how to get what you want or where to get what you want. It says, ignore everything in your life that suggests there's a problem. It's time to look past the It's time to look past the illusionary veil of petty struggles. As soon as you take your attention off all that appears wrong, you will begin to notice all sorts of right signs and clues. The universe is throwing buckets of clear guidance your way. See beyond the surface and the superficial. Soak in the deeper meaning. Soak in the refreshing water of truth. Of truth, my love. And that comes in the next month. Again, soak in that everlasting water of truth. That X-ray vision with that Queen of Swords. That recognizing yourself. And that happens, I guess, next month in a festive season is what I feel. The head games might be more prevalent. I see it feel sooner. But I feel like you might gain the clarity the following month. So maybe that's why I gave that February, March time. Whatever festive season happens between February and March, I would apply it for you here. Wow, my collective of Pal 2, that was interesting and super fun. Okay, so your closing guidance, my lovelies. Your masculine energy says, I forgive myself for taking on more than was ever meant to be mine. Again, maybe it's talking about that balance, right? Let's keep reading. I choose to believe that when I accept all possible versions of myself, I discover a wholeness that invites others to embody more of what they need for themselves. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is the forgiveness part here is for taking on more than was ever meant to be mine, is the resistance with spirit here. Let's co-create. It's not all your need to do, you know, and the energy around you, again, is not, like I said, it's a bad thing, but for what you're asking for, this energy needs to be stepped away from a little bit for you to find your own personal clarity. And then if you feel that this is necessary to come back to, it will be from a different headspace. And you're choosing to believe that all these versions of yourself, and you recognizing this about yourself with this beautiful X-ray vision, allows people to step more into their own autonomy, to grasp their own personal power. So you help them in the same vein. Your feminine energy, I forgive myself for taking life more seriously than is helpful to me. Absolutely. And then I choose to believe that allowing myself to be more lighthearted during times of challenge creates the environment required to access a higher wisdom. So I feel that these are like an overlapping message. They're not one for the other. It just feels like this part of you that may have, you know, thought that it was out of your hands to change in that seriousness, or again, not trusting your thoughts in that seriousness of the controversial energies within you that you might have challenged yourself with, that wasn't helpful for you to judge, you know, for taking on more than you needed to, or for taking on a different energy, meaning I feel like in the thoughts, taking on more than you needed to. And Spirit's just saying, like, lighten up, give us some of the load. Like, you don't have to carry all of this by yourself, but you have to trust yourself first. So again, there is a need to separate. Maybe it is from readings. Maybe you're looking at tarot readings in particular. Maybe you do daily reads for yourself, and if it doesn't come up, you're so black and white with the no and yes. You know, maybe there's like a room to play within that response Spirit might give you. There's something about re-examining or re-looking at how you receive information and how that translates into your actions, and therefore how that processes in your thoughts. So you can get what you're looking for. Like I said, there's a quickening, there's ability to have this quickening, but you need to release some of the hold and the control and give some of it more to Spirit and trust in yourself, Spirit, your higher self, you know, for you to have that fertility of the mind, for have the fertility of your resources, for you to come in balance with the divine, bringing this into the realm to manifest what you're seeking. All my beautiful collective of Pal 2, I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Please let me know if this resonated. Keep watering your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my beautiful Pal 3, my Andalite. These two cards here are going to be your guidance at the end. Spread out your cards. All right, my beautiful collective of Pile 3. So, before we get into where you find what you're looking for, let's figure out what it is that you're looking for. And again, if these energies don't match up with what you're thinking about or seeking, then try to choose another pile. If not, hopefully I'll see you at another one. Okay, so let's see. What is it you're looking for, Pile 3? Saturn structure. Interesting. I feel like you guys are going to be my very serious pile. Pile 3. Septarium. Wow. I have no idea why I said that. Septagram, septarium. I don't even know what the hell that is. And King of Fire. That was so bizarre. Okay, so my pile 3. So it feels like, my beautiful collective of pile 3, that you are looking for, I guess, mastery and knowledge within something. Again, discipline, structure, learning something. The septagram, talks about mastery and knowledge over energies of the 7 planets, the flow of energies throughout the earth, the elves and fairy folklore, a portal of sorts to the fairy realm. And the king of fire is proactive, is dauntless, is inspirational, is powerful, charismatic. It's grounded in focused passion, finishes something from start to finish. A leader of sorts, is appreciative. So it feels like, my lovely, what you're looking for, is the mastery, the structure, the know-how, to reach higher realms, higher knowledge, alternate realms, alternate dimensions, alternate densities. There's like a seriousness to this pile, and I don't know why I'm getting an interesting like love energy for some reason, and I have no cards out here to show me anything about that, but that might just be for a few of you that are watching. I'm hearing, to sum up, what you're looking for is structure within your own personal power. How do I use it more efficiently, effectively, and proficiently? Okay, well, this is not going to be over here. So you won't be able to get it with this energies over here. So it's not this way. Let's see what they say. Sexual. Woo. Didn't I say something about love energy? Wow, I did just say that, didn't I? I could be making that up. I don't even know. 30s. 30s. Child over sexual. And main female. Wow. Over 30s. Okay, so this is going to be a heavy emphasis on the feminine energy and females in particular. I feel like majority of females will be watching this particular pile. As a side note. Okay, so you're not going to find what you're looking for here. And if I want to just read it point blank, it's within the sexual connections within your 30s. So this might be your age demographic at the moment. It might be what you're approaching, or it might be something you've just passed. So that's what I'm getting first. And I'm also feeling that sexual and then child over. Again, twofold. It can be about, oh my God, they're giving me so many scenarios. Literally can be an example of you getting pregnant in your 30s, having a child, and trying to find that structure and balance. I don't feel like you're actually with this partner if this is your scenario. It doesn't feel like you're married per se, or still married, or were ever married. That's what that energy feels like first. And you're looking for some of that structure, that, again, that mastery within your own power, right? How do I navigate this energy into a more balanced, healthy, beautiful human being, and help cultivate them and help nurture them? That is one energy. The other, because this is about, I guess, like how you're not going to get what you're looking for, is what I'm feeling here, is if you are very immature about sexual energies, especially when it comes to this age evolution in the 30s of the female energy. It's like if you give away some of this sexual power too frivolously or too easily, that potency of your own energy, of that fire energy, of you trying to master it, it's not all yours anymore. It's getting dispersed in some way. And again, I'm not trying to tell you not to go have a good time in the bedroom. That is not what I'm saying here, but I'm talking about in the context of what you're asking about. If you're looking for some sort of structure and mastery of your own personal power, a lot of that personal power, that solar plexus, that sacral energy is in that sexual tantric kind of vibe. You know, and you can utilize, and I was just literally watching something about the male testosterone on that, on this energy potency, you know, about back in the like 40s and 60s, like if I'm not mistaken, 40s or 50s, a 60-year-old man has more testosterone, actual freaking, in their body than some 20-year-olds in our time now. So the testosterone level as a global thing has diminished. When, if I'm not mistaken, I think the healthy testosterone level is between 2 something and 5 or something like that, or 8. Don't quote me on that. And technically back then the lowest was like 500 to 900. So we've lowered it up. I know I'm talking about masculine, but I was literally just watching this like 2 days ago. So it's bringing in that type of energy here. It's like, where am I using my sexual potency in a way that's intentionally helping me benefit when it comes to structure, discipline, my energy? How am I giving this away? Have I been naive about sexual matters, about intimacy, about sex in general? I know that there's a heavy emphasis on this, but again, I brought up, like, I don't know why there's a love energy. Like, I just felt that in the beginning, right? So there's something about you not using your sexual power or your dynamism, your charismatic energy in a way that is, they're giving me manipulative, but it's not necessarily manipulative in a bad way, but it's like you're using it as a crutch now, as opposed to as an enhancement. I hope that makes sense. This is interesting. Okay, let's get into some tarot. We're going to take 3 cards from the tarot. So, not here, hey? You have the Lovers. I'm telling you, there's something very, very evident. 8 of Cups. And the Fool in reverse. Lovers. 8 of Cups. The Fool in the reverse. Again, where it's being like, you won't find what you're looking for here. It's not in sexual unions. You need to walk away from that train of thought and start again. Literally start again. And I'm also we probably have a lot in common, my pal threes here, especially at a certain point in my life. Absolutely, I can definitely resonate with this. I used to call when I had long periods of celibacy. Again, this is not choice celibacy, meaning like I could have gone out and played with whomever, but it was a choice. I'm like, I am not engaging with this energy. I had a very distinct feeling of, I'm not going to engage with energies that I know that are not going to stick or are not going to be beneficial, because that lingers. You know, you can still smell somebody on you no matter how much you showered. That's like 3 to 4 days for me, you know. And I used to be like, I don't want to smell this person if I'm having a one night stand. Why are you still here with me? You know, so like, no disrespect, but that's kind of what I had been through that phase, and I deliberately chosen moments of like, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't engage if the feeling was right, but there was nothing more than that if there was nothing more, than that sexual intimacy, then I wouldn't engage. Unless, quite literally, unless I was inebriated and I was like, well, F it, you know? But 99% of the time, it would not happen. And even if I was genuinely sexually attracted to somebody, I just wouldn't pursue it. Because I'm like, what am I getting out of this? Do I just need a quick ma'am, bam, thank you, ma'am, when I have a really wonderful tool at home that can do the same thing? Do you understand what I mean? Like, what am I really missing here? Am I missing the actual intimacy, or am I missing the sex? And I was missing the intimacy, not the sex. And that was the difference, right? And why I chose that. So, long story short, this is what this feels like for me. It's like, you might have been trying to get some sort of understanding about cell structure within relationships dynamics, finding a way into something about your own sexual nature, for that example, but it's not there. It's not either in the way that you've been looking at it, in the way that you've been going about it, or if you're looking for exactly structure in a partnership, for example. And again, you may be just having a really strong or high libido. Maybe this is what this is about, as an example. And you're like, again, male and female anatomy and impulses for that is different, no matter what. The physiological components are different, and that want and need is different. So it can literally be about that, and it doesn't mean that it's solely for male and female. It's just like, how strong is your libido and how much is that pushing or pulling you forward? You know, are there other ways that you can satisfy this particular craving or impulse in you and use that energy in a more structured, creative, empowering, mastery type of way? So let's see then how you get there. Like, where you find it. Where is it? Tan complexion. And skillful. Ooh. They brought me to a particular type of person. So I'm sorry that I keep bringing up the love energy, but this andesite also is that very like spiritually analyzing, grounding stone to balance different aspects of yourself, the spiritual, the emotional, and cleansing all mental activity. You know, so it's making me think of maybe there was a type of person or energy that you were generally attracting at a certain point in your life, maybe heavily in your 30s, that doesn't work. And maybe you thought it was like the right thing for you, you know, the right ingredients for you because of the way that you might have been raised or what was appropriate for your family, etc. And I'm getting two energies with this tan complexion. For one, I'm getting it's like when you're in this like relaxed or vacation type of mode, when it's less stress on you, when you have some alone time, when you're healthy and glowing is what I'm feeling. And I'm also getting somebody of tan complexion. I'm getting a very like European Anglo type of features, and I'm getting anything that has olive skin tone and darker. You know, so again, doesn't mean that you were not that you're not attracted to that. It just means that maybe that was just not something that was thought about or accepted or considered, to be fair, you know, or maybe that just was never an opportunity because of your own environment, your circumstances, literally of your geographical place. You know, maybe it just wasn't a thing, and maybe there's something else that's changing. Maybe the structure needs to change, and it feels like there's something that's really skillful about this next person or this energy that is it's different than yours, whether that's an actual legitimate visible difference or just different in the particular skills or how they use the same skills that you have. It's interesting. Mature woman over tan complexion. Yeah, so then maybe it's again more echoing to the relaxation of you, the calming of you, the maturing of you, the understanding, you know? And then message telling you there's a heavy female energy here. Like there's no masculine cards except for that skillful one. But like in the Kipper deck, female child, female mature woman. Message. It's like it's maturing of you is what I feel within this relaxation period to cultivate these better skills of how to use this energy. And I'm feeling like this is the message to you. This is what this message is. To become skillful, like we talked about, the mastery, the knowledge in the Saturn energy, that structure, that balance, that hard work too, which, you know, that's how you gain skill. And I think that's what they're echoing to here on how you get to what you want, you know? It's about maturing in you, relaxing in that, and leveling up the skills in the way to how you approached this particular potent sexual energy within you, or this drive. Okay, let's get some more tarot. We have the Three of Swords in the reverse. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And the Eight of Swords. So what I'm feeling here, my collective of pile 3, when it comes to where to find what you're looking for, and we're talking about this relaxation, this maturing of you, this changing or mutation or maturing of your sexual potent energy. There's a sense of healing what had not worked out for you and getting out of your head from how you thought about approaching sexual or intimacy or the structure of that. Again, if we're talking about mastery of this potent energy within you, it's again coming to clarity about I have more will, more worth than maybe how I'd been presenting myself in my past or in my 30s in particular. Interesting. So let's get into how do I find what I'm looking for, and it's this way. It says, woo! You have 13, the men in black, stalking, intimidation, and confrontation. Damn! They be serious about how they want you to get there. Okay, so what I'm feeling here, pile 3, is if we're talking about the structure, this sort of portal, this fiery, potent energy, and especially with Saturn being such a difficult, like hard lesson planet and long-staying planet, it feels like there needs to be a little bit more structure and discipline in how you are approaching this want or change within you. And the men in black, you know, this whole character confronting this part of your nature, of stalking out, or maybe this was you before. Maybe you did used to stalk out some people and were kind of intimidating in your approach when it comes to sexual matters. But this is talking about how do you find what you're looking for. And it's like stalking out this part of you, of confronting this, I guess, the shadow side of you. The part that you might even be intimidated from yourself, with yourself about. Interesting. And then you have, damn, pile 3. Then you have the grays, the short grays in the reverse, timid, misunderstood, and shy. So they are asking you to get out of that energy. This is so interesting. Okay, so the grays in reverse talk about empowered, understood, valued, speaking up, and building confidence, which is exactly what you're trying to do here. Because it feels like we talk about this worthiness of giving away some of your power and assuming that you're going to find some sort of structure in relationship or through sexual intimacy first or only. I think it has created a sort of shift and or a rift, I should say, and the shift that needs to happen is in the mental place. It's in how you are, again, treating yourself, the value and worthiness of yourself. Again, no judgments here. You can be as sexually promiscuous as you want, but if the intention for you within you is not creating what you're looking for and you're continuously disappointed, then your approach to it needs to change, meaning your intention behind what you're going after. As in the same example I gave you, what are you missing? Are you missing the sexual intercourse? Are you missing the intimacy? And intimacy does not necessarily include sex. So why are we going into these situations if it makes us feel less than or lacking? Because, so this again, coming back to confronting the structure of how we approach this potent sacral and solar plexus energy. Let's see what your inner voice has been saying. Go the distance, fair enough. And it says, come to the edge. Damn. Yeah, like again, come to the edge, confront, go the distance, find out what it is that's really making you tick and making you feel this way, or making you feel less than, or making you feel that this is the way you need to connect. Or this is the only way that I can find love, or this is the way that it's done. This is the way my family's done it. This is what I'm supposed to like or not supposed to like. Like, you have to come to clarity on what it is that means for you. Yeah, and stop the stagnancy. Move in the direction that you're wanting to. Speaking of go the distance, come to the edge. I think I said that in Pal 2. That's interesting. I don't remember. So, either way, what your inner voice has been talking about is like wanting you to make this change, to come to the edge of you, to confront this, to stalk this part of you. You know, to get out of the misunderstandings and the aloofness or the shyness within this area. Speak it out. Okay, my lovely, so moving forward from here on, what is your advice? Hey you, is what they say. I'll read this to you. I think it's a very positive message. You'll enjoy it. It says, we'd like to interpret the Oracle deck with a very important announcement. There is nothing to fear. Every single thing that looks ominous is but an illusion. It has no power, zip, nada, zilch. It's time to look your fears straight in the eye, like I said, and call them out as the insignificant posers they really are. Exactly what this Men in Black energy is talking about. The stalker energy, this intimidation. Hey you, listen, are you paying attention? You're wasting your time is what it says right here. So don't freaking waste your time on this energy. You know what you gotta do. And Spirit's like, hello, are you listening? Come on, pal 3, come on. And this is your advice. God and Owie. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, and they're talking about, especially that 3 of Swords, it's like healing the parts of you that, again, had felt stuck or hurt. Again, like putting yourself in scenarios, not necessarily on purpose, but hoping for something that you know wasn't necessarily going to turn out the way that you were anticipating it, because the energies were not in alignment. Then it says, hope you can hear Bob Marley singing in the distance, because despite what appears to be a physical blip right now, everything's gonna be all right. This is a time of sweet, sweet healing, a time of renewal. Take a step back, like we talked about, and put your feet up. Soak in the restorative power of the universe, which we talked about here in this relaxation, this maturing energy, the skillful, the message that's being spoken to you now. And then it says, way off in the future, when it comes to God and Owie. So again, this is going to take some time to heal. Naturally, it's going to take some time to reprogram, or deprogram, I should say, whatever thought process about this energy, or whatever, in whatever area you're looking for structure in your life when it comes to this fire energy within you, my lovely. So don't waste your time on these energies. Go the distance. Come to the edge of you. Confront you. Your final messages, my loves, to close it off. Your masculine energy says, I forgive myself for being afraid of what may happen should I communicate how I really feel. Boom. That's all of what we talked about on how you're not going to get what you're looking for. You know, if you're not communicative, if you're repressing your worthiness, of your validity within this structure or dynamic, of not walking away when it's beneficial to you and not serving you anymore, legitimately communicating what is wrong. And then it says, I choose to believe that when I communicate lovingly, life hears my call and sets a plan in motion to support me in the realizations of my desires. Boom. Done there. Spirit gave it to you. Your feminine energy says, I forgive myself for betraying myself in order to show loyalty to another. What the hell have we been talking about this whole bloody reading? About this worthiness, about this potency, this connection, this romantic, however this is playing out for you. There's something very prevalent and prominent about commitment, connection, relationships, sexual energies, reproduction, all of that. I choose to believe that only I can know what it is in my heart, and when I follow its gentle whispers, I am able to effortlessly embody my expansive divinity. Do you hear them? Do you hear them, Pal 3? Only when you are able to embrace and embody the expansive divinity of who you are, will you be able to get what you want here. And that's what the question is. How do you get what you're looking for? And it's not through this energy. It is owning yours, is mastering that energy within you, meaning your potent sexual energy, your own worthiness of self, how you value and treat yourself and others, the movement, the dedication to this change within you, the balancing out of that, you know, the old version of you into the new. It's allowing yourself to go the distance within that void space of you not fully understanding or knowing. But if your intention is clear, if you're going within that direction of knowing that this is not working for you anymore, then at least allow yourself to entertain the thoughts of, what can I change? Does this fit for me? Okay, my lovely, my beautiful collective of Pal 3, I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. And let me know if this resonated. Keep watering your lives. Ciao.